So welcome back to Somatics meets Pelvic Health. This is the next video in our pelvic floor activation series, and today we are going to try it in a seated position, and we're just going to notice if that feels different than in laying down. So we're going to get into a nice cross-leg position, or whatever position feels most comfortable for you to sit down in. And we're going to make sure that our posture is nice and tall, so we're not kind of slouched down, but we want to be nice and tall. And we're just going to start with a nice breath in and exhale, just to let our body and attention arrive to the task at hand. And you can do this eyes open or closed, whatever's most comfortable. I personally find it easier to get connected to what's happening inside with my eyes closed, but if that doesn't feel comfortable, it's totally okay to have your eyes open. So we're going to do what we did last time. We're going to focus on the front and the back of the pelvic floor, and we're going to compare the feeling of one to the other, as well as comparing the feeling in sitting. So we're going to start off by squeezing the muscles just below the front of our pubic bone, like we're holding in our P. So we want to kind of squeeze and almost feel like you're pulling inward. So let's try that. We're going to squeeze our pelvic floor and release. And squeeze the pelvic floor and release. One more time and release. And as you focus your attention now, I want you to notice what area of your pelvic floor moves. And what muscles do you feel contracting? Can you feel a squeeze? So let's give that a try. We're going to squeeze again. And just notice the muscles that are working when you try to squeeze. Again, just noticing if you feel your tummy moving, or your inner leg, or your buttocks, your outer buttocks muscles. Just noticing which muscles are doing the work for you right now when you squeeze to hold your P. And now just noticing if that feels more in the front or more in the back. Good. Now we're going to move to the back of the pelvic floor, thinking about squeezing like we're holding in gas. So we're going to squeeze through the bum, squeeze through the anus like we're holding in gas, and then relaxing. And squeeze and relax. Squeeze and relax. And now that you've tried to squeeze a couple times, let's deepen our attention to, does that feel more in the front? Does it feel more in the back? Do you notice a difference between this exercise and the other? How does it feel in sitting compared to when you try to do it lying down? Is it harder or easier? So let's try a couple of contractions just to get familiar with what do we actually feel. Okay, so giving a squeeze and a release. And again, noticing the effort, the range of motion, easier or harder than lying down. Just noticing. Also bringing the attention to the release. Can you feel the muscle after you squeeze it let go, right? Going back to that pelvic floor release. Can you feel your pelvic floor release back to neutral? Is it releasing slowly? Does it drop down? Or does it just naturally just come back into relaxation. Good. Now let's try forward and back and see if we can feel a difference. So we're going to squeeze to hold our pee, and then squeeze to hold gas, and squeeze to hold our pee, squeeze to hold our gas. Can you kind of feel a subtle, almost like movement back and forth in the pelvic floor? Just noticing it. It's totally okay if you're like, it all feels the same. Good. And then letting go. If it all kind of feels like it's the same, or your tummy or your buttocks or inner groin feels like it's activating to help you, that may be an indication that you may need a little bit more assistance in locating exactly where those muscles are located and how to get them moving in a better coordination. So getting and reaching out for help and assistance is not necessarily a bad idea, so that somebody can kind of guide you to find the right spots and the right way to activate your pelvic floor most effectively. Okay.